What's up, everybody? Big Herc, Fresh Out, and we got another edition of Fresh Out Lifestyle, something from nothing. And I got Aubrey Black here. She's a straight hustler. She's about her paper. This girl's an entrepreneur, and I want to get her story, man, because a lot of people be asking me about the adult industry, and I've been out the game for a while. She's in the game, and she can give you more of an insight. So, Aubrey, people always ask me, how did you get into the industry?
I was actually behind the camera for a lot of years.
Okay.
And so I've obviously being behind the camera, I had access to a lot of models, other people within various industries. And I mean, you have a few people who cross over from one industry to another, whether it's mainstream fashion. And of course, I did a lot of glamour work with a variety of men's magazines, which then, of course, you have people who work in both industries from that. But I was always approached about my being in front of the camera. And for me, I was like, oh no, I mean, I honestly used to be so bad in front of the camera. I'd have to have music to distract me, or I'd just be a fool the whole time thinking, what am I doing? Like, I'm not a model. And, as time went on, I would, okay, I'll give it a little go. I'd do things, but I still looked like a killer in front of the camera most of the time, actually, because I would be, staring it down and being like some tough chick or something rather than somebody sexy and cute. And then people started seeing me online, because of my connection with people within the industry, and then people further up within the industry would see me, and so they would approach me and say, hey, what do you think? Back in the day, I would have gone, how dare you, I'm a serious businesswoman, and I would never do that. I mean, I have nothing against people who do that, and I respect them completely, obviously, but I didn't think that it was for me. I preferred the side of production rather than being
in front of the camera?
Yeah, and especially just with family, and I was raised really religious and whatnot. I was like, oh no, I can't do that, So, and eventually I went, fuck that, I have an inbuilt resource.
Yeah.
That being my vagina, my body. And I thought, I'll give it a shot, because I actually did see somebody, I had a friend who was coming over and she was making bank, and I was like, if she can do that,
yeah,
let's see what I can do. But I actually because I had a business background, I actually did a lot of research beforehand and looked at how people who were quite successful within the business, how they promoted themselves, the different platforms that they utilized, companies that they worked with, and then I sort of decided to move forward from there and build a platform that would reflect somebody who was already successful within the industry and had a particular look while maintaining being myself. And it just worked, because sometimes you can just actually convince people that this is who you are and that they need and want you.
Wow.
Yeah.
Smart girl. I told you, she ain't no joke. What is it like for a woman in the business? I know it's a lot different for guys, and being that you have your own, company and everything. How does that work out?
In what sense? I guess I don't really know.
Well,
what
in a
it's
sense,
like, in the industry.
In a sense, like, a lot of times, like the male aspect of it, they think that they, run in the game, and women actually run the porn industry. But as far as like just doing business and stuff like that, because, for a woman trying to get into the business, a lot of them don't know the ins and outs. So from a woman's perspective, how would you say that, it plays a factor for you?
It's probably, for me, it's a good thing that I have quite a strong business background anyway. Also that, while I still maintain being a nice person and a good person, being true to my word with things that I say I'm going to do, that I guess I've mixed with so many people over the years, and when I am speaking with people who are directors or, own businesses, or they're high up within the industry, they can, it's kind of like recognizes like. So you can see when there's somebody who actually isn't just one of the ones who's going to fizzle away. This is somebody who I can work with, and we can benefit from working with each other. So yeah, so I've actually done all right in that sense, because I guess I get on with them in a different,
more on a professional level.
Yeah, and I kind of
business.
like to, I become more friends with people as well. So you can scratch each other's backs and help each other out a bit, as well as having that business mentality. So. And
what direction do you see the industry going in? Because I know it's changed a lot with all these different, webcam and free, porn websites that are free. I mean, what direction do you see the industry going in?
It's probably like I'm probably too fresh within it all to speculate too much. You know, I might say something and then somebody else who's been in the industry for a lot of years might completely disagree with me and think, you know, it's going on a whole different way. But a lot of it is coming down to producing your own content, and like, you know, people are camming a lot and whatnot. The production companies are unfortunately. You know, aren't getting as much work as what they used to because people are producing their own content, and I mean there's so many platforms that you can actually sell your own stuff on now, and people seem to prefer things that are more, I guess, reality based. People like to have that little eye view into your life, what's real, as opposed to just what is scripted and produced. So, which is unfortunate because I think there's
room for both.
Yeah. But it's just with the internet and everything, I mean, and piracy and whatnot, it's pretty hard for these companies to keep going when people are just going and getting it for free and pumping it out there. So, yeah.
So, you know, there's a lot of females out there like Jenna Jameson who kind of like branched off and did their own thing after having worked in front of the camera. I mean, was there at some point that you felt like, hey, you know, I want to kind of start doing my own thing after you've done some stuff in front of the camera? Because I know you start off behind the camera and then you went in front of the camera and then now you do a combination of both. So kind of like, what was your, you know, what kind of took you in that direction as far as, you know, kind of being independent and seeing that, hey, I gotta kind of do a little bit of both, because like you said, sometimes it's not a bad thing to work for somebody, but you also want to be able to have something to fall back on.
Yeah. Look, it's always been a part of me. I was actually, I think we might have discussed this before, I come from really humble beginnings and everything. And my father owned his own business and whatnot. And out of 10 siblings, pretty much, I think...
You got 10 siblings?
Yeah, well, there's...
Damn.
Mormons.
Oh,
know.
shit.
We breed. Well, I don't breed. I've only got 2 and that's it. I'm done. Anyway, so, but basically every single one of us has been successful in our own right within the industries that we're in, and run our own business. But that's because we were raised that we should do our own thing. So I don't think I would know any other way. I don't necessarily see it that I'm like always grateful to the production companies that give me work, and I'll continue to work for those companies for so long as that, you know, it will continue to be a positive thing for me, as well as doing my own thing, because I still think there's room for both. I mean, it's like having your eggs in a few baskets rather than just one. If I was to cut that out and I was still being offered work there, you know, then I'm missing out on something that I could be. So yeah, for me, yes, have my own thing. Some people prefer just to be exclusive and only run their own show and have their own content. But I think to be able to utilize both is financially a little bit more sensible. Because I mean, I don't have the reach at this stage that these other companies do. You know, they're millions and millions of followers. I mean, you look at things like Brazzers, Naughty America. Oh, yeah, that's crazy. You know, Reality King, you know, Team Ski, all these people that I'm doing work for and stuff. There's no way I could make that reach. So, of course, if I have that, and then people, of course, they see me, they go see my stuff, so they're buying into both. And I'm still being paid.
And it's exposure all the way around.
Yeah, it's exposure, and the way I see it is exposure, you know, converts over to money. If people follow me, they come, buy, And for those who don't know, where are you actually from? Because I know you travel all over, but where are you actually from? Born and raised in New Zealand, so I'm a Kiwi. Okay. But I've lived in Australia for about 15 years. And so when people say, oh, Australian porn star, I still appreciate and would say yes, because that is where my brand was born as such, and where I decided to, you know, make that change into this industry. And so that there, I mean, I'm a Kiwi, but my brand was born in Aussie. So I've got to appreciate that and give kudos to Aussie for that. So, yeah. And what kind of advice could you give a girl like coming new into the business? I mean, if you have a female came to you and said, hey, I want to get into the porn game, what would you tell her? I get it all the time. And the thing is, a lot of girls think that they're going to come into the industry and get rich. You know, they're like, oh my God, I'm going to come into the industry and I'm going to like totally be a millionaire and be famous. And it's like, no, not unless you're really bloody, you know, something special. But there's so many people coming in constantly. It's just like, it's almost like, like a conveyor belt of people just constantly
circulating,
turning
yeah.
And you know what, you could do a few scenes and be really popular for a little bit, and then the next one will come in. It's more about being able to, again, build your own thing and knowing how you can use the content that's being produced of yourself to market yourself further into other areas of business, having a backup plan, not just thinking that the porn industry is all that you're going to be forever. You need to still educate yourself. You still need to go out and make more of yourself than just that. But you can utilize the reach that you get with it, from the porn being published and whatnot, to have people follow you and then sell on other things and build other business. So.
And what's some of your long-term goals as far as in the industry? I know, like you said, using it as a platform, and I know you got a fitness background. So, kind of like, what are your direction you want to take your whole marketing into?
Well, I mean, I don't think I have a long time in the industry, and I mean, I'm 43 now, so I'm pretty lucky that I'm even, I'm lucky that there is, that whole MILF category, and people are like loving the whole MILF thing. So I'm like, oh fuck yeah, I'll rock the MILF thing, and if I have to rock GILF later, then I will. But I'll just take it for as long as I can and utilize that. But I do have, like I said, I've got other businesses, whether it's working with other girls or within the fitness industry, selling on my own things, because I have a lot of people who do come to me for training programs, different things like that. Not that there's my, oh my God, I want to sell training programs. Or, there's a million people doing that. But I mean, hey, if I can help some people in that way. So my scope obviously isn't just porn. This is more a platform.
Okay.
To be seen and then to be able to,
Well, why don't you tell the people like some of the other things you're doing then? Because they might know about your porn, but what are some of your other things that you're working on? Because I know you, like you said, you do the diet plans, you do the training. I mean, you got such a broad perspective. You got a business background.
Yeah, in Australia, I did actually, I was managing girls within the escorting industry as well, because it is legal over there. So, that, again...
You got game, I'm telling you.
Obviously I only work within the legal realms within an area that I'm in. I can't do that anywhere else, but within Australia, and depending on the cities, I can help girls to get work with that. I mean, I've just got so many different things, whether it's the fitness stuff, there's lockdowns that I do with people. They come in and actually, train with me and learn how to change their lifestyle as such, because I travel so much. They're like, how do you travel and manage to maintain this and this and this? So we lock down for a week with a group of people, and they get to see the ins and outs of my everyday life. I show them how to shop, meaning groceries, when you're traveling, what you need to do, everything that I would basically do so that they can go away and look after themselves properly. Because especially within the adult industry, I mean, our body's our product, and a lot of us, at some point, every single one of us let ourselves go because we become burnt out, because we take the immediate money and the immediate work over taking care of ourselves first, and then building more from that. So, and
what kind of advice could you give somebody as far as maintaining? Because like you said, a lot of people get in the industry and they start off, they look decent, but then they let themselves just go. What kind of information could you, what do you do to keep your body in shape? I mean, how often do you train? I mean, how do you stay active and still be...
Sex helps. I have a lot of sex, but then after a while, your body actually just doesn't actually recognize that as exercise. It just sees it as normal. Yeah. So that's kind of fucked, because it's like, geez, now I have to actually go and exercise on top of that. If I want to be when I'm in my peak physical condition, I do fasted cardio.
Okay.
So in the morning when I wake up, I'll get it out of the way. I have routine that I'll do at home, especially when I'm on the road. I use a lot of resistance bands if I can't get into gyms. So I have it right there at home with me. I have a routine that I'll follow every morning, get that done. Don't miss meals. I'll have meal preps. When I'm booking hotels, I'll make sure they have places that have a kitchen that I can cook my own food, or it's close to somewhere that I can have my meals prepared and delivered. Because it's the things, grabbing food on the run and stuff, that's the hardest. And making sure that you, as opposed to taking the immediate work, like, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to be working from this time till this time, and I'm not going to eat, and I'm not going to train. It's get your ass up, go and train, put that in. You can't do anything else. Don't check your phone and whatnot, get caught up for 2 hours on social media before you've done that shit first. Do you know what I mean? And then you can go about and do it. because at the end of the day, you're going to lose money if you start looking like shit.
And would you say that you having had a background as far as before you got into the industry, knowing people, that this is a more of a industry where it's all about who you know? Because some people think that, hey, I can just jump in here and I'm hot, but if you don't know the right people, it can not be as successful as you think, you know?
Mm-hmm. And it's about attitude as well. I mean, being grateful for what you've got, making sure that you're, you know, like when you're on set, you behave the way that you should and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, word gets around really fast over here if you if you start
Yeah.
up. But yeah, a lot of it is about who you know. I mean, I'm just lucky that I was connected with Kieran Lee right from the beginning years ago.
Okay.
And so that was kind of my foot in the door. And I probably wouldn't be doing this at all if he hadn't have approached me. So.
Oh, wow. Is there anything you want to share with the people as far as any of your social media sites or anything as far as like information? So in case they want to, you know, subscribe to your channel or, you know, get involved in some of your fan stuff or?
Okay, so Instagram, I'm more active on there, and that's more PG, so you won't burn your eyeballs out if you don't want to look at that sort of shit. So, and that's just Aubrey Black, AUBREYBLACK. And then Twitter for the more stuff is Aubrey Black XXX, and it's the same for Snapchat. So, yeah, and then I've got OnlyFans, which you can find the link via my pages, which is where that's sort of behind the scenes, and you know, it's a mix of everything from my normal everyday life through to pretty gory stuff. So.
And you have like, don't you offer like a subscription-based content also?
Yes, that's
okay,
actually, I've got a new website that's actually coming.
Okay.
So I had a website, and I'm actually completely reinventing it because I'm shooting a lot of my own content now, and that is where it will
And when is that expected to launch?
It should take about another month, and then it'll be
Okay.
all done. Yeah.
Okay.
Then I'll be happy with where it's at and what I've got to put on there. And then I'll be pumping content on there regularly.
There you go, Aubrey Black, you know, straight hustler, you know, not limited to just adult industry. She does a lot of stuff, and an inspiration to other women trying to get into the industry, or women in general who want to be independent business women, because, you know, you don't have to just sell yourself as far as in one aspect. You can do multiple things. And she's not sitting around depending on no man. She gets it in.
No. I could never do that.
That's what I like about her. She's about her. You know what I mean? But she's humble. So, any
Thank
last
you.
words you want to share with the fans out there?
No, just I'm really grateful for your follow and the constant encouragement and support that I get, and for these guys and their awesome gear that I'm wearing. So you need to get on that. Actually, can I take that off you, or you
Yeah,
cry? That's mine now. So yes, thank you, and see you online.
Tune in, Fresh Out Lifestyle, something from nothing.
Oh yeah, I put that on my gang. I put that on my gang.
Lockdown's over. Get your yard time in. Exclusively at FreshOutSeries.com.